If you've ever felt invisible at work, if you've ever given everything and still been told you're not enough, then stay with me until the very end of this story. And before we begin, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this don't just entertain, they remind us why kindness, humility, and perseverance still matter in this world. The firing happened on a Tuesday morning, the kind of morning that feels heavy even before something goes wrong. Daniel Reyes stood outside the glass-walled office, staring at his reflection in the polished surface. His tie was slightly crooked, his eyes tired, his shoulders slumped from years of trying harder than anyone noticed. Inside, the CEO of the company, Ethan Blackwood, was pacing, his phone buzzing non-stop, his jaw clenched with frustration. Profits were down. Investors were angry. Someone had to take the blame. Daniel had worked at Blackwood Tech for 11 years. 11 years of arriving early, leaving late, skipping lunches, missing birthdays, and promising his daughter that, next time, he would definitely be there. He wasn't flashy. He didn't talk much in meetings. But when systems failed, Daniel was the one they called. When deadlines were impossible, Daniel was the one who somehow made them possible. Still, in a company obsessed with bold voices and visible confidence, quiet dedication often went unnoticed. "Come in," Ethan snapped. Daniel stepped inside, hands clasped in front of him. He already sensed what was coming. There had been whispers. Restructuring. Downsizing. New leadership direction. Ethan didn't invite him to sit. "Daniel, we're letting you go," he said flatly, eyes fixed on a spreadsheet instead of the man in front of him. "Your department's performance hasn't met expectations." Daniel felt the words hit his chest like a physical blow. "Sir, he stopped himself. Begging wouldn't change anything. "May I ask what expectations I failed to meet?" Ethan finally looked up, irritation flickering across his face. "We need people who think bigger. Faster. Louder. This company is moving forward, and frankly, you're slowing us down." Daniel nodded slowly. "I understand." That was it. No thank you. No acknowledgement of years given. Security escorted him to his desk while coworkers pretended not to stare. He packed his things into a small cardboard box, an old mug with a chipped handle, a framed drawing his daughter had made years ago that said, "My hero," and a worn notebook full of ideas he'd never had the confidence to share. As he walked out of the building for the last time, rain began to fall. Not a dramatic storm, just a steady, quiet drizzle, like the world exhaling with him. Ethan watched from his office window as Daniel crossed the parking lot. For a moment, something tugged at him. A strange discomfort. He shook it off. He had a company to save. But that night, long after the office lights dimmed, Ethan couldn't sleep. He kept replaying the day, not because he felt guilty, at least that's what he told himself, but because something about Daniel's calm acceptance bothered him. No anger. No argument. Just quiet dignity. On impulse he didn't fully understand, Ethan grabbed his coat and drove. He told himself it was curiosity. Maybe even validation, proof that firing Daniel was the right decision. He followed Daniel's old sedan through unfamiliar streets, past glossy neighborhoods and into parts of the city Ethan rarely saw. The car finally stopped in front of a small, aging apartment complex. Paint peeling. Stairwell lights flickering. Ethan parked across the street, confused. This wasn't what he expected. Daniel stepped out, box still in his arms, and walked toward the building. Before going inside, he paused as a little girl ran out. Throwing her arms around his waist. "Daddy, you're early," she said, laughing. Daniel knelt despite the box, hugging her tightly. "Yeah, sweetheart, I'm home." Ethan watched, something tightening in his chest. Inside the apartment, visible through an uncovered window, Daniel set the box down and sat at a small kitchen table. His daughter climbed onto the chair beside him, swinging her legs. A woman, Daniel's sister, as Ethan would later learn, placed a hand on his shoulder.